This is the PM edition of 247 Connect, where we bring you updates of news and happenings in and around the world. And now to some stories making major headlines. To our very first story, the Speaker of Parliament, Alban Bagbin, has taken a swipe at the Vice President of the United States of America on the anti-LGBTQI bill, describing his stance on the bill as undemocratic. Kamala Harris, during an interaction at the Jubilee House highlighting the importance of supporting the freedom and equality among all people, said every person has the right to live as he or she wants. However, Right Honorable Bagbin believes that amounts to dictatorship and will not be tolerated, vowing to ensure the passage of the LGBTQI bill before the House without favor will not. Away from that, balloting for the National Democratic Congress presidential primaries have been conducted after the successful vetting of the final three candidates, with former President John Dramani Mahama picking the first slot on the ballot. Former Metropolitan Chief Executive of the Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly, Kojo Bonsu, and former Finance Minister Dr. Kobna Duffuor picked the second and third slots, respectively. Meanwhile, businessman Ernest Kweku Kobia has pulled out of the race. Moving on from there, Parliament has amended sections of the Criminal Offences Act of 1960, which criminalized attempted suicide, as the new act will consider attempted suicide as mental health issues. By this, any person who attempts to take his own life will be considered mentally unstable, requiring assistance by law. Ghanaian health experts have been pushing for the law to be changed, saying attempted suicide is a medical condition that needs health support rather than imprisonment. And in health, visiting United States Vice President Kamala Harris has hailed the positive impact of Ghana's drone medical delivery service. Speaking at a public lecture in Accra on Tuesday on a wide range of issues, Vice President Harris singled out Ghana's innovative medical drone delivery for praise, highlighting the enormous impact it's making on the delivery of emergency medical supplies. The Zipline medical drone delivery service was introduced in 2017, having delivered more than 9 million vaccines, including those for COVID-19. And now let's do some business, where the central bank has revealed that the total asset of the banking industry stood at 209.4 billion cedis in December 2022, representing a growth of 16.4%. Governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Ernest Addison, says it is a reflection of sustained growth in deposit and exchange rate variations on bank's balance sheet. Speaking at the Monetary Policy Committee meeting, Dr. Ernest Addison said total credit, however, increased by 28.5% to 69.1 billion Ghana cedis in December 2022 from 53.8 billion in December 2021. And still in business, the Institute for Energy Security (IES) says fuel prices are set to fall between 2% and 9% for the third consecutive time from April 1st, 2023, with liquefied petroleum gas expected to witness its biggest decline in recent times. According to the Institute for Energy Security, LPG will go down by about 9%, whilst petrol and diesel will witness between 2 and 5% drop. The Institute is attributing the drop to the stability of the cedi to the dollar and the easing of prices of finished products on the world market. Now let's do some international news. At least 40 migrants from Central and South America died after a fire broke out at a migrant detention center in the Mexican northern border. According to reports, the incident was caused by protests over deportations, as some migrants set fire to mattresses in protest after discovering they will be deported. The fire, one of the deadliest migrant tragedies in years, occurred as the United States and Mexico are battling to cope with record levels of border crossings at their shared frontier. And still from across our borders, Kenya's President William Ruto has condemned the opposition in Kenya for protesting and making demands that he says are unconstitutional. Protests broke out in Nairobi and the western city of Kisumu on Monday as demonstrators stormed the cities to rally against the rising cost of living and accused Ruto of rigging the elections last year. The rioters clashed with the state security as the police used tear gas to disperse the protesting crowds who were called on by the opposition leader Raila Odinga. Now let's do some sports news. Ghana has qualified to the 2023 CAF Under-23 AFCON, which will be staged in Morocco from June 24 to July 8, 2023, with a 2-1 aggregate win over Algeria. Ishaku Abdul Fattah scored again for the Black Meteors in the return leg played at the Babaya Stadium. The results give Ghana another opportunity to compete for a slot to play at the 2024 Summer Olympics, which will be staged in Paris. And still in sports, former Hearts of Oak striker Charles Taylor has accused the Ghana Football Association of lying about Black Stars captain Andre Ayew's injury ahead of the team's trip to Angola for their 2023 Africa Cup of Nations qualifier. Ayew missed the game in Angola and was also ruled out of the rematch due to a knee injury, as reported by the Ghana Football Association. However, Taylor believes that there is something fishy about the report and that Ayew's absence was due to anger over not being selected to play in Kumasi. And in entertainment, African music star Angelique Kidjo says the Grammy Awards need diversity and gender equality in order to survive, amid criticism for sidelining hip-hop in particular, as no rap album has won Album of the Year since Outkast's Speakerboxx in 2004. Some of the world's most successful artists, including Drake and The Weeknd, are currently boycotting the 65-year-old award scheme. But Kidjo, who is a trustee for the award, says the Recording Academy is trying to repair those relationships under the watch of CEO Harvey Mason Jr. And finally, in entertainment, comedian Basketmouth has expressed interest in settling down one more time after his recent divorce, but this time with a Ghanaian woman. Born Bright Okpocha, Basketmouth, 44, announced his separation from his wife of 12 years, Elsie Okpocha, in December 2022. The stand-up comedian, who is in Ghana ahead of his Basketmouth Unprovoked show in April, believes marriage to a Ghanaian woman is a possibility for him. And that's it for today's PM edition of 247 Connect here on Channel 247 TV. Thank you for watching. Do have a good evening.